All are about to watch me have a complete crash out at Senate Democrats. And honestly, after watching this video, if you are not absolutely enraged and on the phone with your Democratic senator, I have not sufficiently communicated the level of pissed off that I am right now and the way that we all need to move to put our Democratic senators' feet to the fire and fucking hold them there. So yesterday, I know we were all really excited about the election results. I'm excited too, right? It's a big win for democracy. It's a complete condemnation of Trumpism, of the Republicans. And you would think that that would embolden Democrats in the Senate who are using the only leverage that they've had all year, like keep fucking fighting for us. But yesterday, as votes were coming in, this story broke in the Huffington Post. Democrats might be on the verge of caving on the government shutdown. This thing can't go on forever, Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona said on Tuesday. So obviously, I read the whole piece and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking limp dick, spineless motherfuckers. So as I said yesterday on Blue Sky, it's time to call your Democratic senators and remind them that all that stands between the regime and the lives of 51,000 Americans a year is them continuing to hold the fucking line. If they cave now, they show they have learned nothing. You make a power move, then fucking be powerful. Don't cave. Your bite needs teeth. Hold the line. Forgive me, I'm out in my car. There's going to be a lot of the googly eye filter overlay. I know some people say they don't like it when I use it. So let's dive into this article real quick. And then I want to talk about the it's going to be 3 reasons why it's so important for Democratic senators to not fucking cave, to not cede their advantage and fuck over tens of millions of Americans. According to this reporting, there is now a big debate within the Senate Democratic caucus whether to keep fighting for a guaranteed outcome, the extension of the subsidies, or to settle for less, such as an eventual floor vote that isn't certain to succeed. What the fuck are you guys doing? Democratic senators huddled for over 2 hours during a tense meeting behind closed doors on Tuesday with no clear decision yet on how to proceed. We had a very good caucus and are exploring all the options, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who should have resigned earlier in this year, told reporters. Senator Gary Peters, a retiring moderate who has been involved in talks with Republicans to reopen the government, said, "They are at a sensitive time right now." He described the current state of play within his caucus as a work in progress. Wow, I'm agreeing with Ruben Gallego here. I don't trust them, meaning the Republicans, and I want a negotiated outcome that's actually going to make sure premiums stay affordable for Americans. Some Democrats have warmed to the idea of ending the shutdown fight sooner rather than later, especially as Donald Trump has sought to make the party's refusal to fund the government as painful as possible, threatening not to distribute federal food assistance for over 40 million vulnerable Americans. Are y'all fucking kidding me? Do you have no spine? This is the most idiotic move to cave now. Obviously, Donald Trump is trying to starve Americans. He's trying to starve over 10 million American children, over 10 million elderly, because he's pissed that y'all are standing in the way of him killing 51,000 Americans every year and fucking over healthcare for basically this entire country, but at least everybody who is on ACA healthcare and also everybody on Medicaid. Why, Democrats, why would you cave now? Dems love to fold when they have a winning hand. I know that the establishment DC huddle Democrats have failed us so many times already this year. They're doing one thing right now and listening to progressives. The play is working and they're thinking of conceding. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Grow a goddamn spine and save lives. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a report that was released by the Senate Finance Committee back in late May, early June. My Senator Ron Wyden is the ranking member on that committee, and the data shows that if Donald Trump and the Republicans are allowed to take away the ACA subsidies and to gut Medicaid, that 51,000 Americans will die every single year as a result of those actions by the Republicans. I'm not joking, y'all. This is the main reason that Elizabeth Warren led the charge for Democrats to not fold to the Republicans, to make Republicans own their own actions, to refuse to fund a government that was actively going to kill 51,000 Americans a year and deprive tens of millions of health care. And now suddenly, because Donald Trump is upping the pressure by starving Americans, by denying them SNAP, and we have yet to see what's going to happen with the ruling from these 2 judges that said, no, the emergency funds for SNAP must be released. Democrats are thinking of folding? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is why Chuck Schumer needs to go. He needs to go. He is not prepared to meet the moment. He has failed us repeatedly all year. He is not equipped for this fight. I'll say one more time, why the fuck is Chuck Schumer leading the Senate Democrats instead of Jeff Merkley, my senator, who doesn't take a damn dime from AIPAC and has been fighting aggressively for Oregonians and for everybody in the United States. He's been working very hard to defend democracy and seems to understand what is required, unlike Chuck fucking Schumer. You're a Democratic senator, and the issue here is SNAP. Organize mutual aid, support and elevate ongoing mutual aid efforts in your state so that we all can feed each other in order to hold out for 20 million Americans' health insurance and the lives of 51,000 Americans every year. GOP and Trump are the ones withholding SNAP funds on purpose to try to get Democrats to buckle. They're starving Americans. The GOP is starving Americans. It is supremely cruel, and it is already backfiring on them because of it. It would be the worst possible move to concede and throw American lives away when you Democrats are winning at defending them in this moment. Look at the fucking data. The shutdown is hurting Trump and the GOP because they are hurting Americans. Why would you cave now? All that would do is continue to hurt Americans. If you let Trump and the Republicans win, it will kill Americans. Hold the goddamn line, Democrats. It would be stupendously stupid of you to bow to what fascists want on this issue. Every single one of us, if you have a Democratic senator or senators, you need to be calling. You need to be sending them an email. The reason they are thinking of caving is because Democrat Senate leadership doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know how to play this kind of politics. They don't know how to actually fight and win against fascists. I promise you mass pushback from their constituents about folding, mass support from their constituents to continue the shutdown. That is absolutely going to sway them. They have got to hear from us in massive numbers. Do not fucking fold. Hold the fucking line. There is no reason to concede now. What Trump and the Republicans are doing is crushing them in the polls. Look at the elections last night. Donald Trump himself admitted that the government shutdown is the reason that Democrats won. If you're worried about Americans going hungry, then organize mutual aid, organize support so that we can all feed each other. The solution is not to throw the lives of 51,000 Americans under the bus and the healthcare of 20 million Americans under the bus. Ruben Gallego's not wrong. There is no deal that you can make with Republicans that they are going to honor, especially because right now with the rescissions and other powers they've given Trump, if you allocate that funding to protect the subsidies and the benefits, Donald Trump is just going to undo it. Republicans have handed him an extreme amount of power. Why would you give in and fold on the shutdown for the promise of a floor vote? Why would you throw away all of your advantage? No, we need to be calling and saying, hold the fucking line. Don't you dare disappoint us now. All of this shutdown will be for naught if you give in. Do not be weak little pansy ass bitches. Grow a fucking spine. I'm so mad about this. Now, I know it's not every Democrat, right? I know that my senators are holding strong. Every Democratic senator needs to hear from us right now. They cannot cave. If our Democratic senators who want to stay strong have the numbers from their constituents, if they can say, look, I got 1,000 calls telling me not to fold, that's really important. If your Democratic senator is waffling, they need to hear from you. Democracy is not a spectator sport. These motherfuckers work for us, so we need to direct them in what to do. Because God knows they can't get it right if they're left to make the decision on their own. At least not with Chuck Schumer in charge. Please, email, call your Democratic senator today, every day. Get your entire Indivisible group to sit down and all make a string of calls. What's really impactful is if you organize as a group so that the calls come in, boom, boom, boom. The emails come in, boom, boom, boom. Then they can't ignore it. If they get one call on an issue, okay, they can ignore it. If they get 50 calls on an issue in a day, they won't be able to ignore it. Please reach out to your Democratic senator today and again tomorrow and tell them, hold the line. Have a winning hand. Do not fold. The lives of too many Americans are on the line, and the future of our democracy is on the line. We have to stay strong. We have to stay strong. And we better make sure our Democratic senators do the same.